Boom. What's up, Dylan? Coming all the way from New South Wales, Australia. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea anywhere, any location of Australia. I just know it's massive. So, yeah. Does it have like four time zones?
Uh, yeah, I think so. I don't
Yeah.
really pay attention to that either.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, it's just, I think it's so cool how you're, a Kendama player from Australia. There's not that many of you guys down there, but that's growing. Like it's definitely grown over the past couple of years, and we can definitely get
Yeah.
into that because you just started. You kind of just you're a pretty recent player yourself. You just started yourself, so yeah, we can definitely get into that. But I'm stoked to have you on. It's for everybody listening. It's what is it over there, Dylan? It's 5:42 a.m. Right?
5:42, yeah.
Yeah, Dylan woke up early today to do this, so I'm excited. And to anyone listening. Dylan is an active member in our school community, How to Kendama, and actually just won our last community challenge in February, the How to Kendama Games. Our challenge last month was a challenge for members to progress their skills with our new progression system that scales from beginner to pro. And Dylan won the biggest transformation award. So we have him on today to talk about his, who he is as a player, about his experience and his future goals. So thank you again, Dylan. Really, really happy to have you here.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. When did you start playing Kendama?
Um, I started playing Kendama ages ago,
Yeah.
like 3 years ago.
Hmm?
I mean, that's not ages, but I started playing then. But then something happened, and I lost my Kendama or the Kendama that we all
Yeah.
shared. Um, it just went missing, and then we didn't play for like another year.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got another one for a birthday present, and then I really started getting back into it.
That's incredible. So what month? So you got a birthday present again, and when you wait, well, fast forward. I mean, let's rewind all the way back to 3 years ago. So when you started playing, did you play consistently, or was it kind of just, oh, I'll play it here and there, or were you actually pretty into it?
Um, I was pretty into it.
Yeah.
Like I'd I would play, but then Callie and Archer or Geordie, my siblings,
Yeah.
they would all oh, it's my turn now. So I'd only get it for a little bit of the day.
Yeah.
Um, so but I would still get the kendama while it's while no one's using it, and then just go into Sweet's kendamas on YouTube,
Nice.
and just watch like as many tutorials as I can in that time,
Yeah.
while while no one else is using it.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, and then yeah, something happened, you lost it, but I'm really happy you got back in the game. And did you did you ask for it as a birthday present again, or did you just kind of was it like a random gift?
I kind of half asked,
Yeah.
and then after that, I just yeah, I want one.
Yeah.
Like
And then
after
that
seeing the tricks, like the better tricks.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And what was that Kendama? What was your first Kendama that you got?
Um,
Like
like my
recently?
very first one. Oh,
No, the one you got recently,
the
yeah.
um your one, the
Oh,
Zack.
nice. Oh, sweet. Nice. Okay, so that was the first Kendama that you got back into it with.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Hey, great, it's great Kendama. Great Kendama. Yeah.
yeah.
And you got back into Kendama how long ago?
Last year in August.
Okay. August 2020. Yeah, August 2024. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. Yeah, and so so that's been quite a few months since then. So it's been about 5, 6, 7 months since August, and you're still playing, which is great. What has kept you interested in Kendama? Like why have you continued to play it for 7 months?
Well, straight after I got my kendama, I joined the community, your
Mm,
community. That's been like one of the biggest things that's keeping me motivated.
awesome.
Um, yeah, also Instagram, seeing like the crazy tricks. Like, I want to get to that level. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And do you have anybody to play with down there in Australia? I know you have your brother Archer. I know you
Yeah,
guys play together, but do you have anybody else do you play with?
not really. No,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm hoping to meet some at the Sydney Kendama Cup. The
Yes.
Yeah, that competition. I'm excited for that.
Yes, it looks so awesome. I know the guy who's putting that on. Have you talked to him,
Yeah.
Michael?
Not yet.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Mike is great. Yeah, I wish I could go. Australia just seemed I swear I'll come to Australia one day and then meet you guys. I swear I'll come to Sydney one day, 100%. It just seems so awesome to the scene down there. Um, yeah. So okay. Well, I'm really happy to hear that the school community has played a big part in your progression and your involvement in Kendama, and we really love having you there. It's epic to have you there. I mean, you're literally one of the most dedicated members. You're waking up at you're for everyone listening, we do these weekly calls and Dylan would literally wake up at like 5 a.m. I mean, he literally woke up at 5 a.m. the other day to come to the call. And then in our competitions last month, he would stay up till till like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to compete in these comps. So it's Dylan is definitely one of the most dedicated. And yeah, and speaking of which, let's talk about the How to Konami games. Let's talk about the challenge last month, and we can definitely. I actually just definitely want to touch on the competition aspect. So yeah, our whole challenge last month was about progression with consistency, but we also did competitions and yeah, like I said, you were waking up really early or staying up super late. What did your parents think about that? I mean, it seemed, I saw like sometimes your brother in the background staying like at the same time as you. I was like, well, like he's not, I don't know if he's competing, but it's super late for him too. And like, I think maybe your mom was in one of the videos at one point. She just saw you passing through. So what does your family think
Yeah.
about you doing these competitions super late or super early in the morning?
Um, they're pretty supportive.
Yeah.
Um, so sometimes like my mum and my brother, sometimes my sister, they'd wake up to support me in those in the tournaments.
Yeah.
Then for the just normal calls, like I'd ask my dad or my mum or whoever I'm with and say and just ask them. They usually say yes.
Yeah.
So it just as long as I don't make very too much noise.
Yeah. Sometimes the noise part is hard with Konami because it's just this all the time.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's so cool. I thought that was so cool because I would just be so surprised when you'd enter some of these. So when I'd see you, I'd think, "Oh, Dylan's entering," and I'd like forget almost that you're like 17 hours ahead of me. So I have no
yeah,
idea what time it is when you're joining, and then I'd figure it out. I'm like so amazed. So yeah, so you did increase your skill a lot in the from those tournaments. I mean, I think in your first tournament, what did you finish in your first tournament that you did?
I did. I got third
Okay.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's super good. Okay, actually, okay, nice. Yeah. So, was that your first ever competition for Kanama?
yeah, it was.
Sweet. Yeah. How does a so as a beginner coming into, just started Kanama really recently, all things considered, and also, doing your first competition, how was that for you? Did you feel nervous or was it an interesting experience to compete?
Um, it was. I was a little bit nervous, but I was mostly excited. Like joining competitions is one of my dreams of kendama.
Yeah.
So just to get it that easily, like
Mhm.
to join competitions that easily was just great.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you ever feel you had some really close matches? I mean, one of my favorite parts of the entire series last month across all divisions is your finals match against oh my gosh,
Uh,
I'm just like
Kale,
Kale, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. It was just epic. It was just back and forth, back and forth. I mean, it was just ridiculous. So yeah, for everybody listening, they went. It was losers bracket, and then it was 5-4 both matches. And I think Dylan took second barely, but it was really, really, really close. And so in those matches, you're going first. That's like a 20-minute game. That's not a short game because those two
yeah.
matches combined, it's very long. So for you, even then, were the nerves just not really there? Are you just kind of nervous, or are you really just feeling pretty comfortable?
At the end, I was like shaking a little bit, like, oh, could I actually win this?
Yeah.
But then I didn't.
Oh. All good. All good. Second's still great. Yeah. But you still kept pretty composed. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
hmm Do you consider yourself a competitive person?
Kind of, yeah.
hmm
Like if my little brother Archer, if he's like better at me at something, I have to be better than him. Like
I know the feeling. I know the
yeah.
feeling. Do you know and do you play any other sports?
I play soccer.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's all, yeah.
Yeah, nice, nice. Okay. Yeah, and so that's great that I think it's so cool that your family so supportive. I think that's such a plays such a big part. Um, of course, I mean just having that, especially when you're going at 4 a.m., 3 a.m. to play these tournaments, having the family support is always so great. So it makes me really happy to hear that. You made a lot of progress last month as well. I mean, you said in your post, in your transformation post, that at the start of the month you could barely get airplane lighthouse around the world, and
Yeah,
one of your biggest tricks was bird spike.
yeah.
Yeah. What did you end up progressing towards throughout the month? Like what at the end of the month, what were some of your best tricks?
Um, I did end up getting stilt one a couple times,
Mm,
which is pretty good. I know it's not like crazy, but I never really practiced that.
yeah.
Also like inward lunar,
Yeah.
um, lunar flip. I got
hmm
that a couple times.
hmm Yeah.
Lighthouse flip.
Yep. Yep. And you did that one combo you posted bird at the start of the month and you did the bird flip and then over valley and then flip
Yeah,
in, which was
yeah.
crazy. That's crazy for 1 month progression, dude. Yeah, that was really amazing. And so how often did you play Kanan per day in February? Because your updates during the challenge were pretty, sometimes they crack me up, but also have me like a tiny bit concerned just because you grinded so hard today, passed so many levels, but I can barely feel my hand anymore. So I just want to, I knew you were grinding so hard. So how often were you playing during February? Like average per day, how many hours do you think?
um, Probably like 2 hours
Nice.
average.
Yeah.
Maybe hour and a half to 2 hours. But then other days it's like 6 hours. Like
Yeah. Yeah. No, that doesn't surprise me. You got to play a lot to get. I mean, the more you play, the better you get. So your leaps of progression. I mean, they don't surprise me. But they're so impressive. I mean, I just know the work you're putting in, which is really epic. What made you want to join the challenge in the first place?
I to be honest, I joined for the prizes in the
hmm
first place.
Yeah.
But then yeah, but then after that I was so happy that I completed it. Like the sense of accomplishment like is way better than that prize.
hmm Yeah. Yeah. And no, it's and so a sense of accomplishment in what exactly? I mean, you achieved a couple of different things throughout the month. What were you most proud about?
Um like the tricks wise or
Sure. Yeah.
everything. Um Definitely the consistency of all the tricks I'm getting now.
hmm
Like I might get like at the start of the month I might have got like aeroplane like once out of 10. Now I'm getting it like wanted like 100 out of 100. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And was
So
there?
the
Oh yeah.
so the consistency was like it just jumped so much from the in the month.
hmm hmm And at any point during the month, did you feel like there was a big breakthrough? Did you have a big breakthrough moment? Was there any point in the month that you can kind of identify as a really just breakout, just really just I don't know, a standout moment? You know what I mean?
It would Luna.
Mm. Yeah.
Also lighthouse flip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are really hard tricks. I got them and that made me like really happy and I got so motivated after getting those.
hmm Yeah, that's huge to do those tricks and to like the combos you're releasing at the end of the month after just, having bird is probably your hardest trick. at the start of the month. So I think that's really, really awesome. And who would you say? I mean, you said you really like the school, you really like Instagram, like all the crazy tricks. I'm a little curious as to, I know you're still starting off your journey. You probably are still discovering Kendama players, new Kendama players pretty frequently. But who are some of your who are your inspirations right now in terms of those crazy tricks that you were talking about?
Um, Definitely you and Nick.
Mm, thank you.
Um, Also
Appreciate that.
Colton.
Yeah,
Colton's like insane.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Isaac. Isaac.
Hmm.
Um, he's really like I look at him every day and I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah, it's pretty much all that I like mostly watch.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, no, those guys are, I mean, first of all, thank you again. And yeah, Colton and Isaac are very, very so do you like they really do taps and juggles a lot. Do you like the juggles and taps then Kemble style?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, Taps and juggles is kind of a dream for me. Like
Hmm.
getting good amount of taps and a good amount of juggles.
Yeah.
Um, but also like Tama tricks, like like Lighthouse, Luna, all those types of tricks. Those I really enjoy. And Colton's like Colton and you guys are doing Tama tricks a lot.
Hmm.
You guys are mostly doing still tricks actually.
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely a move that Nick and I have done a lot over the past couple of years for sure. So no, yeah, the taps and juggles are really fun. I can definitely relate to you. I remember when I was learning juggles. Fun. I mean, I learned juggles over 2 years in. So just to give you some context of how it used to. I mean, yeah, it was a new trick back then, like when I was doing it. So it was very new. And then when I was 1.5, 2 years in, it started becoming really popular. And I was just the same as you. I was really attracted to juggles and Ken flips, and it was just the most like flashy trick. And it looks really cool. It looks really awesome. So I can totally understand where you're coming from. And it's going to be great when you are able to do those tricks, not as when you get so used to doing them that they feel like when you if you do a double juggle and something that you feel like it's a that you cheated it a little bit because it's easier because that's the comfortability level that you'll get to. Yeah, you're going to be able to do these tricks so easily that um if you don't do the harder version, it's just going to feel like, oh, I did multiple. I saved it with three juggles. When just starting out, I remember when I got three juggles, it was just ridiculous. I was freaking out. But that's the best thing about Kanama. And I think Colton and Isaac are really good people to look at if you're looking to work on those things because they have such good form. Hmm. Yeah. And I'm curious, as a beginner player, so like, what did you think of the progression system at the start? Because I mean, how were you progressing beforehand, actually, before I ask you that question? How were you progressing before?
Um, like before the challenge, like
Yeah.
before the month,
Yeah.
slowly. Well,
Mm.
I had the trick standards, the consistency things before
Hmm.
that, so I was kind of working on that.
Yeah.
I wasn't overly like I wasn't too enthusiastic about it,
Hmm.
but I was doing it.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like the HTK system was like it made a lot more sense and made it like yeah
Yeah.
probably a lot better than the other one.
Hmm.
But um, for I was it was pretty slow actually.
Mm.
I remember getting double juggle like once um in that time period like videoing tricks, but I never even like worked on consistency.
Yeah.
I was just hitting one trick and then like just ticking it off the list. So so this system like works heaps more on consistency, and that helped a lot. Like Yeah.
Yeah. So after experiencing both, I mean, both types of play in sense of just taking off stuff like grinding for tricks, taking them off once, then moving on to the next one, or taking some time to spend instead of chasing new tricks all the time to kind of just hone in on the ones you already know and get them more proficient. Which style do you prefer? I think there's value in both, but what style do you prefer at this moment?
Um, in like the best feeling when you lace a trick, probably like the first one, like
Yeah.
getting a trick then taking it off the. But if you want to like properly become a better player, like
Hmm.
I'd do the other one,
Mm.
the
Yeah.
consistency one. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand what you're saying there. It's definitely it definitely is a better feeling to lay something completely new. It's just so fresh and so there's more excitement. But it's also yeah, there's pros and cons of both, I think. Not pros and cons, but just benefits to both. It's kind of just two different play styles. So after this month, are you planning on still progressing the progression system, or are you kind of
yeah,
going to okay, cool. Yeah,
yeah.
nice.
Um, I've been practicing still as much as I can. That's the next trick.
Uh-huh.
I've only got it like the most I've got it twice in one day.
Nice.
Twice in the span of 24 hours. So it's definitely a big way to go between then and twice between two tries.
Hmm.
Between 10 tries.
Hmm. Yeah, but that's the next one on the level for you. Like that's the next one that
Yeah,
you're okay. Yeah, cool,
yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's and what other tricks for the other style of play, the one time hitting tricks at the start. What type of tricks are you going for now? What are your goals that you have as a piano player for yourself right now?
Um, I was thinking like trying to get like a whirlwind type thing,
Hmm.
flip this and then juggle it and then get it back onto there. I don't know what that's called,
Yeah,
but
whirlwind
yeah,
spike, whirlwind juggle spike. Yeah,
yeah, it looked pretty cool.
yeah. Okay,
I thought it would be pretty cool.
yeah. So are you pretty proficient in juggles? Are you pretty good at doing single juggle?
Yeah, yeah,
Nice. Nice. Yeah. It's so cool. I mean, it's just so fun. I mean, that that's such a normal thing now, I feel like for people starting out. Not super normal, but it's definitely more normal than me starting out 2 years ago and juggle big cup. If anybody did that, you'd literally be like one of the best canoe players on the planet, to be honest. But now it's just part of the beginner learning system. So
yeah.
it's really, really cool how that progresses. And so you have the Sydney Kendama Open coming up, right? Is it called that? Sydney Kendama Open?
Sydney Kendama Cup.
Sydney Kendama Cup. Cool. When is that?
Um, May 17th and 18th, I think.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Is that pretty far from you?
Not really.
Hmm.
It's like a 1 hour drive. It's
Oh, perfect.
yeah.
Yeah. And do you know of other Australian canoe players because of the school or because of Instagram or do you only know a couple?
Um, I know David Fox, and I know Michael,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's all from
Do you
Australia.
know do you know Elijah?
No, I don't.
Oh, Elijah. I'll send you Elijah Cox. He's have you ever seen the Instagram Kendama Australia?
Oh, is that him?
That's his dad. And then
Oh,
yeah, and then Elijah's yeah. So I mean it's both of them, but yeah,
yeah.
Elijah's yeah. He's really, really good. Like he's been playing for multiple years. He's super good. He's actually super good at juggles and 10 flips. So I know he'll probably be, I mean, I would assume he's going to the South Sydney Canal Cup. So if you run into him, then definitely ask him for tips because he's insane at those. So yeah. Yeah, I'll put you in touch honestly with him. So that'll be really cool. So yeah, Dylan, what as a beginner player, who's done really well for yourself so far. I mean, you've gotten in the podium in a couple tournaments. You've laced some really difficult tricks. What would your advice be to some beginners just starting out in kendama?
definitely what I said before about the consistency and not just like ticking off a trick. Like it's I feel like it's great to get that like the consistency part like in when you're just first starting
Hmm. Yeah.
because you don't want to like try and do a hard trick but then not be able to just get the easiest part of it.
Mm.
Like you got to get really consistent at all the like basics. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No. And would you say the progression system has most of the basics in there? And if not, I mean, are there any basics that you would throw in there yourself or that you want to particularly highlight for people listening to this? Like, say there was a beginner player listening to this and they're like, okay, the basics, but what does he mean by that? What are five tricks that you think would be just the best to nail down on? Let's do three tricks.
Definitely.
Actually, yeah, five
Yeah,
tricks is
yeah,
good. Yeah, five tricks, or it depends. What, three to five? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, Definitely like hole control types of tricks,
Okay.
like around Japan, around the world, around Europe.
Yeah.
Those would be some really good like hole control, timer control tricks.
Yeah.
Um, Actually not too sure. Maybe some stalls like bird.
Hmm.
Um, Moshikame, definitely.
Moshikame, nice.
Yep. Um, Maybe like different trying different groups like maybe candle store a candlestick.
Candlestick. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's all I can really think of just off
Yeah.
the bat. Yeah,
The basics. Yeah. So around the world, around Japan, focus on a whole control, Moshikame, bird, maybe out of the valley, outer bird, and then different grips, candlestick. I love it, dude. Yeah, I love it. Those are all foundational, and like cups are. I think the cups are such an important part when you're starting out. Just from my experience, and it seems like you do too with what you just said about all the around tricks. Yeah, I think getting that whole control at the start is super, super. It can build a really strong foundation, like you have built for yourself. So it's epic. You're very, yeah, Dylan. It's. I'm really excited for to see you go and keep playing and see your progress because. I mean, it's already so fun to watch you showing up to not only our competitions, but literally our freestyle calls where we literally have people who are multiple years in and you're there just 7 months in, 5 a.m. and you're still going. Yeah, you're still doing it, which is so, so cool. And it's epic to see you play, dude. I'm really looking forward to seeing your progress for the next 7 months and the next 2, 3 years to come,
of
5 years,
course.
you know? I know you're in this for the long haul. So yeah, it's epic. Well, thank you so much, Dylan. Uh, I really, really appreciate talking to you. It's awesome. And before we wrap up here, is there anything you'd like to say or anything you want to state as like far as goals wise that we haven't covered or
Not really.
all right, cool. All good. All right, Dylan. Well, thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day. I think it's now 6 a.m. Yeah, 6:10 a.m.
It's the same.
So
Yeah.
in Australia. So yeah, have a great day, man. It's been great talking to you. I'll talk to you
Yeah.
soon, all
You
right?
too.
All right.
See ya.
Bye, Dylan.